Remodeling event at Belfort Furniture.
Tonight, we have breaking developments as we come on the air. The new terror concern after we reported on laptops, iPads, and other electronic devices being banned from certain flights because of terror fears. Tonight, what we've just learned. Has ISIS been testing laptops on airport security equipment? Pierre Thomas is standing by. Also tonight, fired by the White House, now Lieutenant General Michael Flynn is asking for immunity in exchange for his testimony about Russia and any possible collusion, after it was Flynn himself who said this about immunity.
When you are given immunity, that means that you've probably committed a crime.
Tonight, what President Trump is now saying. The fiery highway collapse in the middle of rush hour, 250,000 vehicles a day over that bridge. The fire on board a passenger jet, and tonight, for the first time, we're now seeing the chaos unfold inside the jet. And the major new clue tonight, authorities want the public to study this surveillance. The teacher accused of abducting this teenager, and the new clues revealed.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Friday night. And we begin with new reporting tonight, the new terror concern involving laptops and electronics, and what ISIS might be trying to do, testing those laptops that could be armed with explosives on airport security equipment. Can they get it through? We reported here on the new ban on that electronic equipment affecting direct flights to the U.S. on overseas carriers from 8 countries in the Middle East and Africa. The ban coming after new threat intelligence indicates that ISIS was working on smuggling explosives onto planes inside electronics. Tonight, hear that new turn, the testing on airport equipment. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas leading us off.
Tonight, we have a disturbing update on the story we first reported on the broadcast last week about ISIS developing bombs inside electronic devices, including laptops and iPads, that could be smuggled past airport security. Sources telling ABC News tonight that there's new intelligence suggesting ISIS may have gotten access to airport screening equipment to test their new bombs. We reported last week that law enforcement and intelligence officials had actually tested the new bombs, found them to be viable, and then sent red teams to airports to see if they could be smuggled through security. The new threat was deemed to be real, leading to a series of security restrictions on electronic devices on flights to the U.S. from a number of overseas airports.
So let's get to Pierre Thomas live tonight. And Pierre, we understand the concern here because we've seen what explosives in laptops can do to aircraft at mid-flight.
That's right, David. Take a look at this. Al-Shabaab detonated a laptop bomb on a plane that took off from Somalia just last year, blowing out a chunk of the aircraft. The big concern going forward tonight is that ISIS now has the capacity to develop bombs to rival those of Al-Qaeda, which has been shown to show super creative designs, including in shoes, underwear, and electronics as well, David.
Pierre Thomas with the new reporting tonight. Pierre, thank you. We turn next to President Trump's former national security advisor, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, fired after just 24 days on the job. Tonight, we've learned that Flynn has offered to answer questions from the Congressional Intelligence Committees in exchange for immunity. So far tonight, no takers. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn says he has a story to tell, but tonight, neither the Senate nor the House are ready to give him immunity to tell it. Before the cameras today, President Trump refused to talk about it.
Any comment on Michael Flynn, Mr. President?
But hours earlier, on Twitter, the president left no doubt about his view. Flynn should ask for immunity and that this is a witch hunt. In a letter to the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, Flynn's lawyer made it clear he is ready to testify. But there's a caveat. No reasonable person who has the benefit of advice from counsel would submit to questioning in such a highly politicized witch hunt environment without assurances against unfair prosecution. The top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee called Flynn's request a grave and momentous step. Flynn talked a lot about prosecution during the campaign.
Lock her up. That's right. That's right. Lock her up.
When a low-level Clinton staffer got immunity to testify about her email system, Flynn took it as an admission of guilt.
When you are given immunity, that means that you've probably committed a crime.
And the president made it clear time after time that he saw things the same way.
And if you're not guilty of a crime, what do you need immunity for, right?
So does the president think that Mike Flynn is guilty of a crime?
I think he believes that Mike Flynn should go testify. He thinks that he should go up there and do what he has to do to get the story out.
With or without immunity?
Well, I mean, that's up to him and his lawyer to decide. I'm not going to give Mike Flynn or anyone else legal advice from the podium, but I will tell you that the president's view is he should go up there, he should testify.
But the president gave legal advice from his Twitter account. He said Mike
I know,
Flynn
but the
should
interesting,
ask for immunity.
right? And I understand.
He has said in the past that the only reason you ask for immunity is if you committed
Right,
a
but I think
crime.
that the underlying point that you're missing, Jonathan, respectfully, is that what he's asking is go testify, go get it out there.
Flynn may be a key witness in the investigation. First, he has ties to Russia, sitting next to Vladimir Putin at a dinner in Moscow in 2015. Here they are shaking hands. After just 24 days as National Security Advisor, President Trump fired Flynn for lying to the vice president about conversations he had with the Russian ambassador about sanctions. Asked directly today if the White House is concerned about what Flynn might tell Congress, Press Secretary Sean Spicer had a simple one-word response.
Nope.
John Carl with us live from the White House tonight. John, you also have news on another front tonight because we've been reporting here on the head of the House Committee, Republican Devin Nunes, investigating Russian meddling and any possible Russian collusion, and his mystery meeting at the White House. Tonight you have news on the ranking member, the Democratic leader on that committee, going to the White House?
That's Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. We knew he was coming here to the White House, to the old executive office building, to review some intelligence. He did that, but after that, he had a 10-minute meeting in the Oval Office with the President of the United States. Adam Schiff, the top Democrat, big Trump critic, meeting with President Trump in the Oval Office. I was told by a senior official just a few minutes ago that it was a very cordial and polite conversation, and that the president offered any assistance he could give to the investigation.
All right, John Carl at the White House. John, thanks as always. We turn now to that highway disaster in Atlanta, the massive fire and then a huge piece of the highway collapsing during rush hour. The fire so hot beneath a northbound overpass on Interstate 85 that it collapsed right into the flames. 250,000 vehicles on that overpass every day. But rush hour traffic had been stopped because of that fire. ABC's Steve Osunsami on the scene tonight.
Oh my gosh.
For the millions here who were already white-knuckling it through everyday Atlanta traffic.
But if you look at that, it is huge and it is intense.
Seeing these pictures in person and on live television was painful.
On the interstate, there is a huge, huge fire.
This is truly a state of emergency. One of the highways we take to work every day, Interstate 85, was on fire in the middle of rush hour. And a slab of the northbound lane collapsed. The streets of Atlanta are now a patchwork of parking lots, and they're going to stay that way. Engineers tonight say it could be Labor Day before the highway is reopened in both directions.
3 sections northbound will have to be totally replaced. That includes the one that has collapsed. And we now know that 3 sections southbound will have to be replaced.
Investigators say that these construction materials stored under the bridge caught fire, but they're not sure how. It was PVC pipe, and it was locked behind a fence.
It does not ignite. It takes something to cause something like that to burn.
A fire that wasn't nearly as bad in Philadelphia shut down parts of the highway for 6 months. Already, the traffic here is working their last nerve.
It's just terrible. You know, it took me 2 hours to get out here this morning.
I watched a physical fist fight. Apparently a car is trying to drive the wrong way down the road and the lady jumped out and tried to fight the man.
The federal government is trying to help, sending $10 million for highway repair right away.
And Steve is with us live from Atlanta tonight. Steve, that construction material that they were storing under that bridge that somehow ignited, you were telling us that's something they store like that all over Atlanta?
Yes, it's a government right-of-way. There are plenty of these all over town. I've passed by this one a million times. It's essentially free storage. Normally, it's not a problem, but this time was different. David?
It's going to raise new questions. Steve Osunsami, our thanks to you tonight. We have new images coming in this evening from inside that terrifying landing. A passenger jet exploding into flames after a trail of leaking fuel. Everyone survived. But tonight, one of those passengers recording the final moments of that flight in Peru. Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
For this Peruvian 737 with 141 people on board, the problems really started after its emergency landing. In this newly obtained video tonight, you can see the jostling intensifying and the man filming turning the camera to the passengers inside the cabin. Suddenly, they're illuminated by the flash of that explosion outside. The plane comes to a stop, flat on its belly, trailing that stream of flaming fuel. Frantic passengers flopping off the left wing to the ground. Slides deployed front and back in Tuesday's crash landing. But look closely. Most don't appear to be carrying anything as they scramble off the front of the jet. Another explosion hits. And despite the chaos, there were no serious injuries, likely experts say because passengers didn't try to take their carry-ons with them. Experts say carry-on luggage can clog the aisles and cost lives. They also recommend keeping your shoes on during takeoff and landing because you never know when you might have to make a run for it. David.
ABC's Matt Gutman tonight. Thank you, Matt. Next this evening, a powerful new clue tonight in the search for a Tennessee teen and the teacher who authorities believe kidnapped her. The first confirmed sighting. New surveillance images show the pair at a Walmart in Oklahoma City 2 days after they went missing, showing changes in their appearance. ABC's Kana Whitworth in Oklahoma City.
Tonight, the first confirmed sighting of that Tennessee teacher and the student he allegedly kidnapped more than 2 weeks ago. 50-year-old Tad Cummins and 15-year-old Elizabeth Thomas seen on this Walmart surveillance camera in Oklahoma City on March 15th.
She looks subservient to him, walking behind him, looking to him. You know, it's a very scary image.
The same clothes she was spotted in on the day she went missing, but her hair appears to be red. Cummins seen with darker hair and a beard. Just days before the alleged kidnapping, Cummins was spotted on a Walmart camera back home. Dark hair dye in his shopping cart. This new video from a tip.
It only takes one tip. It's one phone call that breaks the whole thing wide open.
Cummins fled Tennessee after he was suspended from school, investigated for an inappropriate relationship with a high school freshman. Today, Cummins' wife, who had publicly pleaded for him to release Elizabeth, filed for divorce.
David, tonight investigators in Tennessee say these two could be anywhere, and they ask the public to remain vigilant, take notice of their change in appearance, and keep those tips coming in. David?
All right, thank you, Kana. Next tonight, here to the extreme weather along the East Coast at this hour, a tornado watch in parts of North Carolina and Virginia, and winter weather alerts from Pennsylvania all the way up to Maine. In fact, snow already falling in Manchester, New Hampshire. Looks like the middle of winter. Whiteout conditions there and a treacherous evening commute underway. Meteorologist Rob Marciano with us live outside Boston tonight. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. It's been snowing and sleeting all afternoon as we wrap up the month of March. What a messy map we have for you. Winter storm warnings for much of New England, flood watches for Jersey and Philadelphia. And in the warm core, we have that severe threat tornado reported on the ground and heading towards Virginia Beach at this hour. Meanwhile, this thing is going to get itself together. We'll look for more heavy rain. We'll time it out now. The rain will end from west to east, but snow and sleet heavy at times through the overnight period, turning to all snow tomorrow morning, then getting out to sea. But 5 to 10 inches of snow with a lot of sleet with that. Could see some power outages. This is no April Fool's joke. David?
All right, Rob, you're a good man out there in the middle of it for us. Thank you. Next here on a Friday night, a police officer sentenced to 40 years in prison in the death of a 6-year-old boy with autism. Jeremy Martis was shot and killed in his father's car after a high-speed police chase. Several officers had converged on the scene, and their body cam video played a major role in this. ABC's Lindsay Davis with that video.
Louisiana's police chief called this video the most disturbing thing he'd ever seen. And tonight, former Deputy Marshal Derek Stafford is paying for it. An audible gasp was heard in the courtroom as the judge handed down that 40-year prison sentence to Stafford for fatally shooting 6-year-old Jeremy Martis and wounding his unarmed father, Christopher Few.
I never saw a kid before, man.
This body cam footage from the 2015 incident in Louisiana was the most damning evidence in the case against the 33-year-old, one of the 2 deputies accused in the shooting. The first grader, who had autism, was with his father when the SUV they were in was shot at 18 times by officers. It's still not clear why police were pursuing the car.
I don't know who I fired.
Defense attorneys argued Few drove recklessly while leading officers on a 2-mile chase and then rammed into a squad car. But there was no evidence of that. Stafford says he fired to protect his partner.
Stafford's former partner, Norris Greenhouse Jr., the other officer allegedly involved in this shooting, heads to trial in June. David?
All right, Lindsay, our thanks to you as well. And there is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Friday. The deadly bus crash, 13 members of a church group killed, and what we didn't know this week. Tonight, what emergency calls before that crash now reveal about the disaster. Also, the manhole blasts in the middle of rush hour right here in New York City, causing chaos, blowing out windows. Tonight, what authorities now believe caused them to blow. And tonight, the previously unseen photographs from 9/11 now revealed. We'll be right back.
As soon as I left the hospital after a DVT blood clot, I sure had a lot to think about. What about the people I care about, including this little girl? And what if this happened again? I was given warfarin in the hospital, but wondered, was this the best treatment for me? So I asked my doctor, and he recommended Eliquis. Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots and reduces the risk of them happening again. Yes, Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots. Eliquis also had significantly